we'll be talking to some of the labels momentarily.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. So. So, Tim's returned.
Yeah, I'm here.
Is that on?
I think yes.
Nice. So, yes, Tim has returned from the foyer. How's it been at the Global Pattern Store?
Yeah, this has been crazy, like merch and everything, trading and exploring what others have. And yeah, it's really cool to be not just online with this on Bandcamp, because it forever existed on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did such a kind of thing with Global Pattern, so it feels really cool.
Nice, very nice. And here with us, we have two astute gentlemen with us. It's Reclusive Records and the Tidal Charm. Welcome.
Hello. I'm David, or the Dab Wizard. I own Reclusive Records and run it.
My name is Carlos, and I own the Tidal Charm, or actually run the ship called the Tidal Charm.
So yes, the Dab Wizard, as you're known.
Hello.
Yeah, we'll start with Reclusive Records. What was it like coming all the way from America to this event?
Honestly, it was surreal. The whole way here was... It was exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time, because I haven't been out of the country since I was a little kid, first of all. So it was very last second planning this trip, but I knew it was something I had to come do, just because of the amount of amazing people here, amazing artists, amazing labels, the effort that's being put into all this, the fact that it started when it started and brought a lot of people together, because I feel like a lot of people got into this genre when COVID was really popping off and a lot of quarantine was happening and whatnot. People felt very stuck at home, and I feel like this community helped bring a lot of people together. And to be able to hold it online also, while also having a IRL day, is simply incredible, and I felt it was something I couldn't have missed. And 13, 14 hours worth of travel, completely worth it.
Wow.
That's really, really nice. So, and are you having a good time so far at this beautiful venue?
Oh, it's been amazing. The beautiful venue, beautiful country. I mean, Kortrijk has been, I assume I'm pronouncing it correctly, has been absolutely fantastic. Everyone here has been nice. All the artists have been nice. I mean, it's been very welcoming all around, from the event to the actual place we're at.
Yeah, it's such a homely environment as well to be in. Like this, to see SLUSHWAVE on such a big screen and such a big scale.
It's huge. When I walked into the theater, I was kind of mind blown.
With such a powerful sound, I never listened to SLUSHWAVE. It's such a powerful system.
No, it's. I mean, it is truly cinema quality. So it's such a great thing. Yeah, what sort of stuff have you brought to the merch table? Any rarities?
Yeah, I got a good variety up there. Got a few Barber Beats releases, some DMB by Arcologies, the DMB Jungle release. I have a couple second editions left up there. I actually just started a third run for it again because people want it. So, no plays on FOMO here. We want to make sure everyone gets what they want to get and gets it at a reasonable price.
Nice. And do you have any any albums on your table that people should definitely check out or even purchase?
Personally, I am a huge fan of the movie The Big Lebowski, and I recently partnered up with Villain to start doing their cassette releases. And the first one that I got to choose to do was Lebowski Wave, and that album is chef's kiss in my opinion. I also have another album up there that is coming out on the 6th. If you're into hip-hop, dungeon synth wave, funk kind of stuff, that's right up your alley too. And this artist, I wanted to get him on because I really enjoy his music, but I also really wanted to get him more exposure.
Nice, cool. So yeah, people can check that out. I'm sure you'll be showing everyone anyway.
Absolutely.
And now over to the Tidal Charm. Welcome as well.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Not as far as America, but
not as far. I just drove in this morning, but
nice.
yeah, still drove all the way here with a big smile because indeed I'd like to thank all of you guys for hosting this. Thank you all for coming because yeah, to me it's a little dream come true to meet so many of these people that I've been chatting with for years in real life. So
yeah,
thanks again for the opportunity.
It is. It's like a weird, like, you know, seeing Tim next to me because we've had 5 previous SLUSHWAVE events where we've been
5 years of
5 years of separation, and now we're finally doing this together.
reunited.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And putting names to faces as well, like, because you don't know who anyone is until you walk in and say, "Oh, that's that person."
Exactly. Well, I've seen some faces before through indeed other live performances that have been done, but to have this happen in Europe is to me very special. So let's set that trend and continue going from there.
Now we need to talk about your merch table because it is probably one of the prettiest looking out there with all that pirate themed
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely a treasure hunt of a table.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have put a considerate amount of time in it. Usually I am not very, yeah, I'm very last minute with things, but yeah, given that I knew from this event a long time ago, I've took some time to prepare, yeah, for sure.
Nice. And obviously, for those who tuned in yesterday online, there was the, I think it was 2 days ago, there was the special teaser advert with all that story going on. Can you say any more about that?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I run the Tidal Charm and I try to make an as immersive experience for the listener as possible. The label is centered around a pirate ship that travels the world, and throughout its travels discovers all these myths, tales, legends, and treasure. And I kind of nudge people into listening to my albums and purchasing them on tape as well. With every tape that you purchase, you will be able to get a piece of a treasure map. And if you have completed the map, you will be able to gain access to a secret treasure, which is a treasure album. The first one has been released, the first season has already been done, but now we're in the second season, so working to the second album as well. And yeah, these albums also come with a never to be repressed tape of the album. So, and I also have to thank my boy David here for being a constant supporter since the start. So
It's such a cool concept, I think, to do that. And
thank you.
Yeah, any sort of tapes you want to shout out from this incredible
So since
collection?
we're at a SLUSHWAVE event, I still have a considerable amount of Days Blue tapes. To me, he's one of the 2-3 prolific artists in the genre right now. I will leave undisclosed who the other 2 are, but I think many can fill in the blanks. Yeah, also I'd like to say I do a lot of other genres, so I have some vaporwave, but I'd like to phrase it as video game music, so whether it's indeed jungle DMB, I also have Arcology's tape that I've had, also sold out really fast. And yeah, so check Arcology's out, a very great producer. And I also do a bunch of dungeon synths, which I really enjoy, and it's more like medieval. I see a lot of similarities between that and SLUSHWAVE in many ways.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of vaporwave adjacent subgenres that have slushy tones to it, so it's great to release that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think with Dungeons In specifically, it's very lo-fi, but it also has this nostalgic aspect for me at least. So I can definitely recommend anyone to check Dungeons in general out if you're into SLUSHWAVE.
And get that Days of Blue tape, of course. Which album
Get the
is
Days
that?
of Blue tape. Sorry?
Which album is that from Days of Blue?
It's A Moment Long Forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to check that out. And if you caught Days of Blue set yesterday, it was absolutely incredible with the prog slush. It's so interesting.
Yeah, indeed. And to add to that story, indeed, like I love how Days of Blue to me is pushing the genre in a different, or not necessarily different direction, but pushing the boundaries. And that's what I like to see in terms of vaporwave, SLUSHWAVE first, but vaporwave in general is to, okay, let's continue evolving and let's continue doing new and creative stuff.
And we talked about it on the stream yesterday because I implore everyone in here, if they didn't check out day 2 on Vapor Memory, then you should go and rewatch it because it's probably the most varied day of SLUSHWAVE we've ever had. There was every single set was a different style of SLUSHWAVE, which is just it's hard to think that there are 7 different styles of SLUSHWAVE, but there is, and they're all laid out so beautifully on that day yesterday. And Tim will remember how incredible that was, and obviously being in the past events as well.
Yeah,
How much is great.
We had some OGs like Your Discovery and Mindspring, and they still managed to bring something new. Even the Mindspring set was all old stuff from her ancient albums, but it still kind of sounds new, surprisingly, because after years and years of being into this genre, into the scene, you kind of start getting all the new influence and everything, and suddenly you realize this is why I love this. This is what turned my heart into pieces, and yeah, it just works. It just works. So
I think it's great to see the scope that you can see with that as well. And
I do have to say real quick, shout out Your Lobotomy. That was what I've been waiting for. That was amazing.
Your Lobotomy was something. And visuals were done by Michael of Liminal Garden, who's hanging around here somewhere. But that was such a funny set. I mean, we were all just screaming with laughter, I think. it was,
Slash mosh pit.
Yeah, it was so good. So yeah, you've talked about the releases up there. And yeah, that Days of Blue album, that needs to be out.
Yeah, I get the
really
Days of Blue tape. I still have plenty of copies with me, guys.
Plenty of copies, yeah. Yeah, we'll return to Reclusive Records now. I'm just curious about your label journey. What's it been like, and how did you get into the scene?
So it's been amazing, honestly. There has been no negative side. I've been so ecstatic to work with these artists and to be able to put these albums on physical format, because that is why I personally started the label. There was so many albums that I wanted to see on tape and I wanted to own, and I wanted to work with these artists and get them paid and whatnot. The start of it, interesting enough, I have Bass House, thanks for that. Shout out Sage Hardware. He brought me onto the team and really gave me the rundown of how he started and what he did and whatnot. And then from there, I just kind of dove in. I decided to start hitting up artists and figure out what I wanted to do, because I knew what I wanted to release wasn't going to be bound by genre. You know, I want to release everything. If I listen to it and I enjoy it, you know, I want to put it out there for people to also listen to and enjoy it and have. And once again, like, a lot of finding these people came from, you know, Sage showing me a lot more with the scene, and Villain also. Huge shout out to Villain. Very, very fantastic crew. Got me on the Void TV team, and that's really heavily how I got into doing visuals and whatnot too, because each album that I drop on Reclusive Records, I do a full visual mix for. And I really love the curation for that, because I can really figure out what visually I want to fit with the album, and there's no constraints with it because I am doing it all myself.
And that's nice. So it's almost come from like just wanting to share the love around of new music and through visual style, which is really, really cool.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
we have to shout out that you've done visuals for this year as well.
I did. I'm very honored to say I got to do visuals for the Reese set, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. It was really fun to work on.
And that's coming up next, so that'll be nice. But yeah, so that's really cool. Tidal Charm, I will ask the same thing. Your story of getting into the scene.
Yeah, so I actually started listening to. I was first very. It's a long time ago, but I was very into just, I guess, regular music until Drake stood me up for a concert 3 times, and I was like, okay, gotta find something else to listen to. So I ended up, diving into underground music genres first, starting with underground house music. During COVID, I wanted to live stream for friends. Well, that I didn't have the gear, so it became a platform, it became a label, and I still kind of run that on the side. But my true passion came in the same period I discovered Vaporwave, and it was borderless, so to speak. And I don't know, it felt cooler to start creating cassettes and started creating this whole lore and immersive world around all these albums that we're going to put together. So indeed, I'm not a musician myself. I feel like I have some musical knack, but I never really took the time to pick it up. Probably never will. But I just like to share music, and I used to be the obnoxious guy sharing Spotify playlists to my friends, spam them. So from there it just kept on rolling, and yeah, I do this with a lot of love. There's a lot of time in the week that I am constantly working on the Tidal Charm, but I derive so much pleasure from it, and I'll probably never stop. Well, never say never, but not in the foreseeable future.
Never say never to try and play music yourself.
Maybe, we'll see. But I had to pick up, for example, also Photoshop, because you had to design some things indeed, and it was more natural to me because I did some drawing and stuff back in the day, and it felt easier to comprehend. And also, I also have to shout out Michael from Liminal Garden, because he's been a huge support to me, especially in the early stages. He designs the treasure map for us, which is every time just phenomenal quality. So thanks you, Michael, if you're here.
I don't know if he's lurking around anywhere, but if you see Michael from Liminal Garden, do give him a pat on the back, and for creating the lovely visuals as well that you see up there, the logos and everything for this event as well, and these lovely lanyards as well, all done by Michael. So got to shout him out, of course. And as you say, you have a full-time job. Like, this isn't anything that you do full-time, so it's all technically a hobby, isn't it?
It is, and I think for people that just started collecting music, God knows I was one of them. At first thought like, labels, they do this professionally, they make money off it, and that's their living, and if they don't respond to my email in a day, they should be better at customer service, because you're here to service me, kinda. But once you start collecting more and more, you realize, especially in the niche genres, vaporwave, that it's just people who do this in their free time, so to speak. And for some people that's easier than others. I am not, I have a girlfriend, but I'm not like a parent yet. And I do know people that are parents that are actually also doing this at the same time, Tim being a prime example.
Yeah, and, I haven't done it for a year, but it's still possible.
GP is coming back. And
but I just did the new bundle, and it felt so good after a year of pause, and I realized there is no actually any contradiction to that. Yeah, you can always find time when you do something you love. You will always find time. When it's something which is not you like, then you'll find excuses. I've just started doing things and realized it's possible, it's doable, even so your day is fully chaotic, and with 2 kids it's always a party. And I love them so much, I want to be with them all the time, but at the same time I love music so much, and we can listen to music together. And that's what we do. And in the past 2 years, I've collected so many tapes, just with the thought that, I think my daughter will enjoy this. It's probably a nice excuse, but still she really enjoys some stuff, and she can put a cassette on her own. And so that's a little thing that you can kind of inspire you to do stuff when you realize that someone is going to grow up with this music, like someone going to grow up with SLUSHWAVE and Dreamtone and whatever, and I can imagine how it could be, because for me, I grew up with totally different music, and this
is also a reason why I'm doing this, so that my kids will never end up listening to Drake in the first place. But no, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't saying that it's undoable, but I'm just saying that even for me, who has still significant more freedom, I'd say, it's still pretty rough to balance it with your regular work.
Yeah, of course.
So shout out to you and for doing that.
Thank you.
One of the slush dads.
One of the slush dads.
Another one that comes to mind is Alex, who runs the SLUSHWAVE Social Club. We've got to shout him out for all the help setting up the events. He has 3 kids now.
Wow.
And is still extremely passionate about...
yeah, always on point of what's happening in the scene.
So on top of it, keeping the server incredibly immaculate. And so
next year he's here.
Yes, and next year, yeah, that's right.
Oh, is he? I don't know, but let's get him here. Let's get him here.
If we announce it in enough time, yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting, and the future of the genre as well is always such an interesting thing to think about as well, because days like yesterday where we could see where the genre is going, and I'm curious to where you think the genre is going, where SLUSHWAVE is going.
Okay, so me personally, I think the fact that it became sample free, or not necessarily everything became sample free, but the fact that you paved the way and that made SLUSHWAVE have potential to stand on its own and become its own thing. That's why I'm a huge fan also of what Days of Blue did and also what he did. But also I want to shout out, you still don't feel them out there, don't you? To me, like, it's incredible. Like, you can tell he's a musician for many years. And when he explained the process, I was listening online, but I could hear the mouth of Tim open wide and fell down to the floor of how he does his process. And
yeah, I wasn't expecting that he's doing all hardware. And this is incredible.
I gotta shout him out because I think his music is terrific. So if you're into Slush, like, you won't regret checking out his discography. And where do I think SLUSHWAVE is going? Up, and I wanted to stay
to SLUSHWAVE heaven.
Yeah, SLUSHWAVE heaven. I just wanted to become a stay in the music or ambient genre, broader genre as a whole, and I think it will. And if we continue doing stuff like this, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I'm curious as well, Reclusive, what you think of the future for the genre.
I'm gonna have to say the same. I think the expansion of this genre and the way it's grown with even the last 2 years is actually insane. And like you said, with the way you've paved the sample-free stuff, it really takes it into a whole new possible realm of what can be done. Because don't get me wrong, I absolutely love sampled SLUSHWAVE, the same I love sampled music in general. But when you do everything original, there's no one that can come to you and say, hey, like, you can't use that. Or, hey, I'm someone who says, I worked with that person and they say you can't, or whatever it is yours and no one can tell you otherwise. And you own that and no one can take that from you.
Absolutely. That's the main reason why I started doing the sample-free stuff, was because even though I was very connected to the samples I was choosing, I wanted a stronger emotional bond with the music from the creation of the actual sample itself. And that's why I delved into that a lot more, and that's why it's the main form of albums that I make these days, is because it's a total self-contained palette. Like, there's no... I think Mindspring put it really cool, in a really cool way in her interview yesterday, where she said that working with samples is like collaborating with the artists back in the day, because you are working with them, that sample, to create something that you can connect with, and that is SLUSHWAVE. And yeah, the scene can only grow. I mean, this event is only going to get bigger every single year. The fact that we're in person now doing this is even crazy to think about. And yeah, I've said this before, but it's very interesting how the only material in the early days of SLUSHWAVE was kind of vaporwave itself that was taking inspiration from it. And it really has moved into its own bubble from a vaporwave adjacent genre into more of an ambient adjacent. Especially with all the sample-free stuff, it's a lot more sort of wavy and a bit more down to earth, rather than trying to emulate a sort of ambient version of vaporwave. So it is very, very interesting, and hopefully we can see more of these IRL things to come in the future. So thank you very much. To finish on, where can people find you on the internet?
So, Reclusive Records, we have YouTube channel, of course, Bandcamp. I also recently started a sub-label for digital releases, Reclusive Records Digital, that is also in Bandcamp. Like I said, I do all the visuals for the albums, so everything on Reclusive Records YouTube is all done by me. That might change in the future. We might have a couple of other visual artists on the channel, so a little sneak at some point maybe. And then the Dab Wizard also on IG or YouTube. You can catch other visuals that I've done for Void TV and things like that, and other artists and whatnot. But yeah, the usuals: IG, X, YouTube. Can't call it Twitter no more.
No. And yes, where can people find the Tidal Charm?
Yeah, so on Bandcamp is where we sell our tapes, obviously, and release our albums. On Instagram, on X, we're also active. YouTube, not so much, but maybe that will change in the future. We do have a YouTube channel. And yeah, find us there. And also, I just wanted to conclude by saying the commercial that was done 2 days ago was done by Vanitas, so I also want to shout him out. Because, yeah, I think
Really,
that was
Vanitas did that?
Yeah, Vanitas did. It was
big up, yes.
Yeah, it was to me, it was a great success. So, and thank you for playing it, and thank you for hosting.
Of course, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, thank you both for coming to talk to us. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully people will go and buy all the albums that you suggested.
Only if they like them.
Yeah, we should expect a clear table at the end of the day, I think. So thank you so much for coming along. And the show will continue now with Rias's set, with visuals by the Dab Wizard himself.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
All right, enjoy the slush, everybody.